Well, hello and welcome. I'm Sue Britz,
And I'm Tina Lookbakk. Welcome to Retired.
podcast where we talk about what life is like when we put on new tread, new wheels that move us to our next adventure.
So, as we were talking, Sue, our topic today may not seem so deep, but I think we're going to go deep. Do you want
Okay.
to introduce our topic?
Well, I don't know if summer is deep. I mean, summer is often people's favorite season of the year. As a kid, was that for you? Were you like counting on summer, or was that your favorite?
Summer was my favorite because I really did not enjoy school. So, it was the break of school that I loved it for.
Oh, interesting.
But in terms of fun in life, it's always been during the snow season. I love snow. I love winter.
See, I've always been an autumn gal, a fall, autumn gal, and summer was fine, but it was never my favorite. I actually loved school, and I loved being in school,
Oh,
um, and I loved even the challenges and the struggles and the hard parts of being in school. But yeah, no, summer was kind of. See, I have a summer birthday too, and so summer
oh,
birthday people get
true.
ripped off. Everyone's gone and doing something, and so unless you're a little kid, when you're older, you're kind of ripped off of summer. Yeah, disconnected from
That's true.
people and all of that. Whether they're away or whatever. But yeah.
I want to point out on this side of retirement, to me, I've always thought I don't want to travel during summer, but that was basically our option, that or
Hmm.
winter break, but that's too hard to cram in the holidays and all of it. So for me, I love this side because now you can go at the time where there aren't as many people, the prices are more reasonable. The weather isn't stifling hot in some of the places I would like to travel. So I think summer has been the season because that is for teaching the time that we had off, but not necessarily the season for me.
Being retired from teaching, summer is your unemployed time. And in theory, you should be doing all the things you want to do. Like you say, this is your opportunity to travel, spend time together as a family, stuff like that. But it's a created time. And then sometimes it's not the best, especially with the heat of today. I
Mhm.
heard today, I read in the paper that, the paper, I'm so old fashioned. I read in the New York Times online that
Yes, that's so not old fashioned.
Paris is headed towards 50 degrees
No,
Celsius
Celsius.
by the end of this decade. That's 122 degrees Fahrenheit. That's
That's
just
like what we would look at the Middle East or the Mojave Desert as being,
uninhabitable.
yes, in an uninhabitable place to live. Now we're looking at a place that people live, and now it's becoming uninhabitable.
Yeah, well, and not just any place. It's Paris where people do want to
Right,
see
that's
it, and there's so
exactly.
many
And
beautiful
that's not
things.
normal.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Like, will the trees survive?
right. And I was looking up today. Will the cockroaches survive? And apparently, there are cockroaches that can live to that, but not long term. So, I mean, if winter comes and they're able to regenerate, but so even the cockroaches will survive.
Well, that's an interesting thing to throw in there, Sue. The cockroach
Well,
relationship.
Well, I'm just saying the city is dead, deserted. The trees are dying. There's no birds or other animals, maybe rats. I don't know. I didn't look up the rats, but it's going to be a zombie. We're back to the zombie apocalypse again. There's going to be nothing in that city that can survive in that kind of heat. It's ridiculous. Except then maybe the people will leave during the summer when it's the hottest, and that's when the robbers and criminals will come in and steal all the valuable paintings and artifacts of history. Despite the heat, they'll come in suits that are air conditioned or something. Yeah, okay. I'm writing a sci-fi movie even as we speak.
um, I still would like to understand the cockroach, like how that thought even popped into your brain. Why the cockroach, Sue?
Well, I went right to nothing can survive in that kind of heat, can it? And so then I
Oh, and you're
looked up
thinking a
what.
cockroach is so darn hardy.
Yes, like they say they're gonna
Uh,
survive the nuclear holocaust and everything. It's like, um, I looked up what animals can survive in that. I mean, the fennec fox running around, Paris would be kind of cute, but What are they going to eat? So yeah, yeah, yeah. I went right to nothing really can survive then. Plants, animals, yeah. But it's not 122 sustained degrees all the year. It's just during
A
the hottest
period.
times. Yeah. Uh, that's where I went with my summer. Summer. Uh, Summer. Whether it's a favorite season or not, for me, the fact that it's not back to school, I'm loving it. Although, I've bumped into a number of teachers who are still teaching, teacher colleagues that I used to have, and I can only feel massive compassion for them. It's a very hard time.
Sue, as I watched my friend who's gone back to work, it's just, she's the high of teaching, and maybe it's because we're all this side of 50. I don't know if it's the profession, if it's the age, I don't know. But I don't see happy people going to work that are on this side of 50.
Or they're it's like a forced happiness, or they have like a 5 minute feeling of happiness and the rest is surrounded. That's the feeling that I'm getting. That there's still some joy and belief in the intrinsic greatness of the job, but then the reality of all of it uh, comes in.
Strikes within a
Yes.
week.
Well, within the hour, and no,
I
and
was
I
trying to be nice
and I
here.
would say it's not even the people who are 50 and older. I've seen it with some of my younger colleagues that I've seen
Oh,
recently, and
good.
and they,
It's not just an
well,
age.
it's not good, but yeah, I know
No,
what you mean, but
right.
it's just it's sad. I mean, so you have the normal cycle of excitement for the new year, the new batch of kids, the parents you're going to work with, the new projects and interacting with your colleague and the excitement of all of it kind of falls hard. And you know, I've also seen this too. I don't have a lot of experience in it, but I've young people don't seem as excited or as interested as in starting the new year either. I don't know. Something has shifted even
Shifted.
bigger than when we were exiting the profession, just around COVID. Since then, and we were already seeing things like this
Yeah.
this trend going that way, but it's seems to have gone exponential. I don't know.
Thank you for saying that, because I kind of felt that too, even with the young people going into our profession. Interestingly enough, at our former school, it's still a rotational situation where people aren't staying on for very long,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But then we had that whole other level of
It,
now we have to perform in a different language with kids that are, I kind of felt resistant.
mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Active
Resistant.
resistance, yes. And testing, but not in a way that helps them grow and learn, but in a way that
No.
is that feels very negative. It's a behavioral stuff. This behavior stuff is so
Yes,
much,
it's the behavioral stuff.
and the lack of engagement, the authentic engagement with something, intrinsic delight and joy in learning. It doesn't seem to be alive and well. I mean, there are moments of it. And so I have to, like, sitting here as a teacher, as a former teacher, I feel one way, but then I'm also sitting here as a mother, and I wonder how it must feel to send your kid off to school and that this is the environment they're going back to. I mean, themselves and the whole greater community. It's not the same gig as it used to be.
It's not. And I'm thinking about, I think there's so many things to tie in. I mean, God, are we going to go there? I mean, is this what we're going to do?
What are you talking about?
Going back into the systemic problems and what I'm seeing. Like I look at the kids that go to get the bus every morning. I don't see a kid that's excited or happy. That
Mhm.
short window of time I was at the high school, like there were some people, but by and large it's like this kind of this big cloud of first of all, you're making teenagers get up and be at school by 7:30 in the morning when we all know that that's not their sleeping rhythm. We're already up against a fight and the day hasn't even begun. So it's not about kids. It's about a system that we're all upholding instead of the client, which is the student. And I think that that's the bigger issue. And I was thinking about at the time you and I were teaching Sue, we had the freedom to make it fun and have a creative license. And I think that's the difference.
That's
It's just, it
disappearing.
keeps changing and being taken away. And the less creative we get to be, the harder it is for us then in it to create. And it's harder for us to get kids engaged.
Well, and here's the thing behind all of it. And I don't think I'm being paranoid. I think I'm being very realistic. And I think if it would be interesting to see if someone would do their PhD studies in this and look at it,
Wish they would.
is this is the dismantling of public school education. It's been a
Yes.
very targeted, purposeful erosion of public school education. And COVID just accelerated that, and they're like jumping on it to continue to undermine public school education. It's making it so difficult to be a teacher, to not only teach and deliver instruction, but to do all the things that a teacher does. Your authority is being ripped from you. Even the administration's authority and the school district's
Oh, true.
authority is ripped
Correct.
from them. All this litigation,
Yep.
and then you bring in the cultural war aspect of diversity. It's it's an outright attack, and that's so on top of this trend that it was also supported in targeting the death of public school education was the social trends of the time, and it is very disheartening. I it I've always said, not everyone is a teacher. A lot of people have been taught, oh, anyone can teach, just go in and do it. But
No
truly,
way.
you've got to have a joy and bring a joy to the
Yes.
classroom. And without that joy, you are not going to last. You're not going to be a good teacher. You might teach some good things and be okay for a while, but to be that excellent teacher, you've got to bring the joy. And it's for yourself as much as it is for those kids and your
Amen.
colleagues. And that's being ripped apart. The thing
I
is,
think
go ahead.
no, no, I'm agreeing with you. That's what I wanted to say is I think you're absolutely right on it. And it's an erosion. It's been slow and I think COVID accelerated it and we had to look at some dark places and what I said from the beginning of COVID, that year should not have existed. We can't pretend anybody learned anything. Let's go back, everyone repeat, repack. 1 year, repeat the year. So what we've done and where I'm seeing it and you probably have heard it, but these kids have not only lost a year of time, but being pushed without the skills to the next level before they had them because they lost a year of their life. They've also then learned, hey, I can stay at home. Hey, I don't have to make things like all of us kind of got lazier in some respects from that year. Like the commitment, like outstanding absences is a bigger problem
Hmm.
because now there's this kind of rhythm of school, whatever, right?
Well, I agree to some extent. I think that COVID year was a year of massive learning, but that not the skills-based learning you're talking about that people often associate with schools. Although schools also teach all the life lessons and everything else too. I think COVID year taught everyone a lot of things, and some of the less um, not the happy things necessarily, of course. Uh, and it's a matter of then tailoring how to parent and how to teach after through this pandemic and after the pandemic to do it. And then the skills based stuff, I agree. You got to go back and address the skills based stuff, but some of it is maturity based. Or just regular
Yeah.
maturation, and kids will catch up pretty quickly. It depends on where you are. Like those little kids who didn't see we're talking preschool kids and TK kids, and not being able to see people's mouths as they talk and articulate. That's very hard. And so taking that mask off, that, I mean, there's some work that
So
need to be
true. I
done there.
forgot about that.
But then
Hmm.
human beings are so adaptable and they will move forward if there is acknowledgement of that. So that aside, this was just another opportunity to destroy public school education, and we're moving that way in the world beyond education, in looking at, like, people staying home from work, and there's a lot of research that says people are more effective that way. There's also a lot of things that are lost when people stay home. So it's a blend of concerns, some
I
positive,
agree.
many negatives, and we've got to figure this stuff out. But you can't drag yourself to work and feel day after day, whether it's education or somewhere else. You can't drag yourself to work and feel positive. And those kids that we serve, or the community that we serve in another job, uh, feel that, and they bring their own, dragging themselves to whatever service they're supposed to be provided. It's we're in a tough place in society, and on top of it is the continual attack of what we're enduring right now, and it's gone worldwide, and it's depressing as hell. So happy summer!
So
I
I want to
told you this
say,
might go somewhere really dark because, I mean, summer normally is such a light and happy topic, but where we are, like the back to school moments right now, and where we are in the world, it is it's an interest, and then global warming, it's way too hot, and all these things. It's like, wow, Tina, what do we make
it's
with that?
true. I
What?
think about how old we were when we first met, and just the changes between my late 20s, your early 30s, to now, in seeing the change in government, seeing the change in climate,
Mm-hmm.
seeing the change in a school environment. Like, we are going through some major shifts and changes. And I'm sure every generation has felt that. But I think that we're going faster. It's the changes are even faster and more extreme. It's like
Extreme.
picking up exponentially
Mm-hmm.
the changes of extreme.
Yeah. Well,
And
just
that's what we're
always
seeing.
layering that climate change stuff on top changes the feeling of it all. But yeah, authoritarianism has been around, and yeah, yeah, it's tough. It's tough times, and people feel it, and students feel it, and yeah. So let's take a break and come back and talk about summer.
Okay.
Okay, so what are the happy and positive things you remember or that you enjoy about summer today? For example, I remember we talked about this last summer because we've been
Yeah.
doing this pod for more than a year,
I
and
know.
I do remember talking about the caprese salad with burrata cheese and a little bit of basil on top, and lovely olive oil, fresh olive oil, and balsamic vinegar that's perhaps 25 years old from Modena or whatever. Delicious stuff. That is one of the things that I always love about summer is the produce. Your first BLT or your last BLT with that beautiful giant slice of tomato, watermelon, uh, peaches. Uh, we went picking for peaches yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah, and just all the produce coming out of the garden is just lovely. So that's one of my highlights of summer. How about you, Tina? Corn. Oh, fresh corn. I almost forgot to talk about fresh corn.
okay. Well, I think this is just going to be negative, but it's positive, but not for me. So I move here, which is lovely because I get my four seasons, but I can't grow the same things. It's not the same. Like, tomatoes have to be babied and started inside because our season is so short. And I do miss going to farmers markets that have nothing but organic, or organic is so much the option. And I'm living in a place where, even with the local farmers markets around us, there isn't much organic. They might put out five little wretched looking pumpkins and three tomatoes because it's hard to grow things. Either, basically, Southern California, it's a lot of desert. If I had to explain it, it would be a desert. And I never understood till I lived up in Northern California what a blessing it is to have the most nutrient dense fields
Mm.
so that you can have excellent food year round with much more flavor. And when you buy organic at the grocery store in your chains like Stater Brothers or Bonds, I don't think, again, mass produce is so different compared to what you would get at a farmer's market or local farms, or like you and you guys are growing things and eating them. And I just missed that part. And so I can have apples pretty soon. And there are apples in abundance up here. And I am excited that I will make the thing. So food has changed for me.
Okay, so
Summer
what is a
actually has
happy
changed for me.
what's a happy thing of summer then that you've enjoyed or was a best memory?
As a kid, we had a flowing creek and with a big swimming hole in it. And it was the going there with or without friends, packing a lunch and spending the day in the water, listening to the water and all the little insects and things around. So that was awesome.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt for a second. Let me say that little picture you painted brings back
Yeah.
this nostalgia that is so quaint and cute. Then we don't have it anymore, but just to go someplace rustic and real
Oh my
like that,
gosh, you're
and
right.
then to picnic, you packed a sandwich. You
Every
made
day.
the sandwich, and
Yep.
you put it together. Nowadays, if you're going on
You're
a
right.
picnic, more people, more often than not, they run up to the store, grab something that's already pre-made, and take that,
Oh
and
my
that's your
gosh, you're
picnic.
so right.
And so there's whole generation of people who don't know what a picnic is. But that simple pleasure, I remember you used to complain about it sometimes because you'd have what was left over in the house before you went on a trip, and you're trying to get rid of all your food before you go. But the sandwich wrapped in wax paper. They didn't. This is even
Yes,
before.
wax paper, of
Yes,
course.
before plastic bags. It was wrapped in wax paper or in uh, cloth napkins. Like
Oh my
real.
gosh, yes.
That's how old we are.
Oh my gosh.
And then the drink was always like in a big thermos thing container. It wasn't in individual like
Oh no,
a plastic
never.
bottle.
Correct. Unless
It
it was lemon lime soda, which was my treat to
oh
myself, lemon lime
nice.
soda.
We
Hmm.
would get mom would always make the lemonade, the
Oh.
country
Oh,
time
the country
lemonade. It
times.
was not the good lemonade. It was the country time lemonade.
But we loved it
Made
then.
in a gallon thermos and with a little spigot at the bottom, and you drink out of wax paper cups.
Oh God.
Yeah. Ah, the days.
And the thermoses were lined with glass. So if you dropped your thermos, God
Oh.
forbid, it fell down the boulders by your creek, then
Oh.
you couldn't drink your lemonade and you'd have to throw it out and get a brand new thermos.
Ah, the old days.
Yeah, but thanks for that appreciation. And as I painted that picture, like it was the being outside again without without a schedule.
Mhm. Yep.
It was your schedule. Even as a child, it became my schedule, how long I wanted to go for, who I was going to invite, what sandwich I would pack.
Yeah, freedom. There's a lot of freedom in summer, especially as a kid.
But
Even if you
nowadays, or at least in our environment, I'm not so sure kids have that freedom because, at least where we lived and what I saw was, the kids had to go to some kind of a structured place to do structured activities while their parents were at work.
right. That's
So I
changed
didn't
too.
see a whole lot of freedom for them. I saw poor kids trapped in uh kind of like prison groups without, because they didn't get to choose them. They didn't get to choose the activities, right? They were told this is what we will be doing. Although we lived in a place where they had some really cool things that had themes that people could choose, that the kids could choose.
Yeah.
But that isn't always the case. And I'm learning, like up here, the smaller the community, the less variety, the less, choice there is.
Yeah.
And
Prison
anyway,
camps. God.
I did.
Jeez.
I did. I
Okay,
did.
we're back. See, we just can't shift to the positive here. It's kind of funny. All right.
I'm trying.
My
Okay, you
last my
try.
last my
You
last
try.
my last bit, and then we'll wrap it up, and you'll have a last bit here
Okay.
hopefully. So, last take on summer.
Yeah.
I one of the things I enjoy, I do it all year round, but it seems to happen more often is movies at the curb. And since
Oh,
COVID, when I got the projector and the screen, and that I put it up in front of my house, I've got these two pillars in the front of my house,
I
and I just
love that.
attach it to that. And people bring their chair, and they maybe bring some snacks. And if it's cold, they'll bring a blanket. And if there's mosquitoes, I will put out the bug zapper and my citronella
Oh,
candles. And yeah, we watch, we call it movies at the curb, but really it's zombies at the curb. We are finishing up 11 seasons of The Walking Dead, and we're moving into the other versions of The Walking Dead. We'll watch movies that are zombie films like The 28 Days, The 28 Weeks, The 28 Years, or it's in the theater. Yeah, we do the zombie thing, and so we're doing one tonight. So I look forward to that, and it's kind of interesting because you watch, as the curator, I am in charge of making sure to tell people what time to come, whether or not to bring a glass, because there'll be wine at the curb as well. Um,
oh,
and the sun goes down at different times, so it's interesting. We were doing movies at 8:30 at night at the height
oh,
of
it's
summer,
shifting time,
and it's
right?
now way back. I mean, we're looking at, I think, like 7:50 tonight. Yes. Oh, 7:56. The sun is going down. So, and then next week it'll be, that 20 minutes earlier and earlier, and it's kind of nice. It's interesting because does it run into your meal or not? Does it staying up too late for people who might work or not? Yeah, but it's fun. Your final thoughts on summer?
On your positive note, I started to go there as well. First, I just want to say, on behalf of the neighborhood that I'm not in, we thank you. I'm sure every single person thanks you. That's a highlight, and you started it, Sue. That's, I think, part of being a teacher. We get this idea and we have to share it. And I just want you to know that that's how you're spreading joy and positivity, by having everybody over to watch death.
Well, and they're all happily suggesting
I mean,
ideas too.
honestly, it's beautiful,
Yes,
Sue. I mean, really, and I'm proud of you. And it's like reason 500 million why I'm so glad we're friends, because that's
you're
very
funny.
motivating, very positive. And I realized through your positivity, see, it does spread, that I have, there are two things that took place that I want to do more of, because it's not over yet. Um, I have a friend, a teacher friend, of course, and I've only been out 3 times kayaking, but the last time I went was last weekend, and it was my first full moon kayak. And there were 4 of us that went.
Nice.
And there was something sacred about getting out on the lake at night, the water flat, no lights on, and watching the moon come up over the mountain
Wow.
was absolutely stunning. Um, and then the other thing that she introduced me to is there is a boat that is docked at the farthest end of our lake, and they have a professional band. Many of them work for, like, Sheryl Crow. They are people that had to leave their homes because of the burning down in
Uh-huh.
LA.
Uh-huh.
So they're up in Big Bear living in their second homes while
No,
their things are being
their
built.
second
So they
homes.
come together, real musicians that play hits from the 70s, early 80s, and it's not too loud, and we all just bring a chair and food to share. And that's been a very peaceful, beautiful thing. So that only summer would bring, because
Yeah.
we're not going to go out there with it snowing on the lake with a
Right.
band.
Very cool. I would totally be all over that. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. All
So
right.
thanks for
Well,
that.
yay. As summer's wrapping up, then y'all enjoy it. Enjoy the last bits of this wonderful, happy season of the year.
Yes. Hope we
And
didn't bring you down. We
that's
brought it up at the end, Sue.
yeah.
Cheers. Good for us.
All right. High five. Thanks for listening. Now let's pack up this week's episode in the trunk.
Ride shotgun and be a part of our adventure by clicking on the plus sign to subscribe and follow our show. This will help our ratings and, more importantly, inspire us to keep creating fun and engaging content. We would love to hear from you in the comment sections, or email us at retiredpodcastnewtread@gmail.com. Use the fast track lane by sharing episodes with friends, family, and anyone who would like to join us on our road trip through retirement.
Be sure to check the show notes for links and contact information. Retired is chauffeured by Britz and Tina Lokkbakk. It is produced, directed, and edited by me, Britz. Music and graphics are by me too. Buckle up and tune in next week so that you won't miss your chance to
Join our retired road trip.
Oh, we did that one well.
I know, first time.
It's been a while, hasn't it?